Good evening, Patriots. The last couple of weeks have been the most sobering moments of my life. Just having to deal with, a totally new reality and understanding that there is no democracy, there is no freedom in Australia anymore. We've got that facade there that you can say certain things, but once you start critiquing Islam or multiculturalism, there is no freedom of speech at all. For a lot of people, they sort of become so accustomed to disassociating themselves with what's really going on in the political life in Australia, and they just lock themselves away in their home. For freedom for them is having a big selection of DVDs or having a big selection of beer in the fridge. That's what freedom equates to a lot of people today. But when it comes to freedom of speech, it's really under attack, and something needs to be done about it. The only thing to do about it is to stand up and say to the establishment that we've really had enough, because they've taken away so much already, and our most important human right is our freedom of speech. Now, this Saturday we've got the Cronulla Memorial down at the Don Lucas Reserve, and like I've said before, I don't want to go against police, I don't want to go against judiciary, but when laws or judgments are corrupt, or they're sort of trying to maintain a certain set of laws or protection of a failed ideology, and that is Islam. Now, today I got home tonight after having a lovely time down at Cronulla. A bit of time down there at Cronulla, beautiful suburb. And then I got home and I got these. Look at these bonds. Got these. The council have served on me, Sutherland Shire Council, have served on me papers to appear in the federal court on Wednesday from 9:30 a.m. This is just insane. What I've got here, I've got the council, not only the council, but Dr. Rifi, Australian of the Year. They're both going to take me to court on Wednesday for racial vilification. That's right, because last week they served papers on me, the council did, and said we're not happy with your truthful comments about these Muslim gangs and certain aspects of the Islamic religion or political ideology. And now, the Australian of the Year, Dr. Rifi, is also involved in this. And so not only have we got the Supreme Court issue on Thursday from 10 a.m, but we're going to be there at 9 a.m, just so we can sort of meet outside the court. But we've also got this matter. This is bloody insane. Talk about a miscarriage of justice. We've had sort of like almost 3 months since the first paperwork was submitted to police, council's been privy to that, because police and council both liaise with each other. And look at this, 1 week out from our rally, if you want to call it a rally, I prefer to call it a memorial service, a time that we celebrate the time when Australians stood up in Cronulla. Now, I'm just sort of like, I must admit I'm gobsmacked to get landed with this paperwork also, because I've racially vilified Muslims, and it's just all about commentary on social media, some other stuff that we've printed articles on the website, truthfully speaking, about Islam. Now, last week when I did receive the other paperwork demanding all this material be removed, they gave me, here it is, section 18C at the back of it, just to remind me, section 18C of Racial Vilification Act 1975. But what they forgot to do is attach the Racial Vilification Act 1975, section 18D. Now, I think that Dr. Rifi and Sutherland Shire Council and all those highly paid commissars, those lunatics in the Human Rights Commission need to understand that this point is fantastic. Section 18C does not render unlawful anything said or done reasonably and in good faith. A fair and accurate report of any event or matter of public interest. I'll just repeat that, a fair and accurate report of any event or matter of public interest. There you go, Dr. Rifi. There you go, Human Rights Commission, Sutherland Shire Council, and this goes all the way to the top, to the federal government and also the state government. You guys are a bunch of wankers. You're a bunch of cowards, because you don't believe in free speech. This is what you do. You sort of create some sort of Soviet relic to come down on people so they can't get out there and be critical of a failed ideology. Or the biggest failing of all, multiculturalism. No, we couldn't say truthful things about multiculturalism. Goodness me. It just goes on and on. And I was just having a look at this, Strike Force Nil, Cronulla Riots. It's quite a few pages there, over 100 pages. There was no problem, no. Yeah, right, okay. There's no problem. It just goes on and on, it's unbelievable. And I'd like to say thank you to the people who have donated money to the fighting fund, to the Freedom of Speech Fighting Fund. And look, you know, we do. We need your donations, and the people that have donated since yesterday, I really do appreciate, because it does mean a lot, because it's not just the fight that I'm fighting, or people like the great Aussie Patriot, or Sergio Redagali, or Kim Vuga, or Danny Nalia, or Daniel Evans, or Rosalie Christine. We're all fighting this on your behalf. This is our country. We want to take it back. And I spoke to Danny Nalia tonight, and you know, he said a few prayers for me, which was much appreciated. And the thing is that, you know, he's a man that went through many trials and tribulations, speaking truthfully, and all he was doing was just, you know, speaking truthfully about this book here, the Quran, and you know, a prolonged legal case, and, you know, financial sort of strain, you know, on sort of the sufferings that he had to go through. But, you know, it really sort of like, if we don't stand up, and there's lots of Australians that may not see the importance of standing up, but, you know, and people have said to me, you know, you could lose your job, it's going to cost you a lot of money and so forth, but really there's a lot more to lose than anything. You know, if you lose your freedom of speech, that's the most fundamental, cherished possession of Western civilization. No other civilization has created such a cherished possession as freedom of speech. But our government doesn't celebrate Western civilization anymore. Our government celebrates this. But I was just got this from the website from one of the government sites, and I love this. 5 fundamental freedoms. Freedom of speech, freedom of association, freedom of assembly, freedom of religion, and freedom of movement. Well, you know, freedom of assembly, here we go, it's been outlined here. Now, why are they taking? Now, the government gives everybody freedom of religion, the Muslims have got freedom of religion, but when we want to have freedom of speech to be critical of a religion that has failings, oh, look out, you know, you'll be in big trouble. But freedom of assembly is listed here, so they're contravening our 5 fundamental rights. So the Australian government sort of stamped, maybe they should get rid of that and put the hammer and sickle up there instead. You know, it's just ludicrous. And, you know, I'm just reading through the Quran at the moment, second time I read it. It's, I am enjoying it thoroughly. So I'm very repetitious, very violent, and look, I'm no scholar, but anybody can read it, and, you know, it just sort of, there's a lot in there that just sort of, to me, just, this is the source of all evil. This is the source of all the problems of Islam. We can have all these de-radicalisation programs and counsellors running around trying to sort of, you know, correct these sort of, you know, warped ideological views, but this needs to be put on trial. It really does. You know, there's that many passages, or what surahs in it, that are hateful, and it really needs to be put on trial. And, you know, it's funny how we can be critical of Judaism, we can be critical of Christianity or behaviour of some of their people or some of the things that happened in history. Rightly so, we can talk about that. But once we talk about this, look out, you're going to get a smack in the bum. Yeah, so, you know, like, really, I can't believe it. It's a week that's just sort of like, you know, we should be getting, of course we're going to go on Saturday, and we're going to be at the memorial service, and I want you to come down, because when I come to go to court on Wednesday with this Racial Vilification Act, I don't know what sort of quick sort of judgment. I don't think there is going to be a quick judgment. It's probably going to be a prolonged case, but they might demand that all the material on the website be taken down, and all the stuff on the pages. And I, you know, coming from a non-legal background, I don't know how that's going to, like, if there's going to be any fines or anything like that. But what I want you to do is get the message out there. Spread it out there, because, you know, they might have an injunction against me on Thursday, so I can't go down there, but I'm still going to go down there because I have a democratic right to be there. But they can't stop you. They can't stop you. They can't stop any Australian going down to Crown land, on Crown land that is owned by us, and staging a protest. It's not about sort of celebrating violence. No, the left only celebrates violence in Australia. There's no doubt 10 years ago there were some unfortunate incidents with alcohol being involved, and some of the locals probably did act in a sort of unsavoury way. But you know, I don't know if you can say it's justified, but I can understand their frustration and anger after all those years of intimidation and harassment. But yeah, you know, like, how dare these people try and call Islam a race? You've got Jamal Rifi here and Sutherland Shire Council, and you know, serve these papers on me to appear in court on Wednesday. So yeah, the struggle goes on, the fight goes on. We don't want Sharia law in Australia. This is an image in Iran. This is a factual image. You know, they would have been judged by a Sharia tribunal for being homosexuals. Do we want that in Australia? Well, maybe that's the next stage, because if we lose our free speech to say certain things, to critique things that we see that are not right, but are also backed up with facts and figures, we're not just making things up. There's plenty of evidence out there. We're in big trouble. So we've got the federal court on Wednesday, so if you can come to the federal court from 9:30, we've got the Supreme Court on Thursday from 10, we'll be there at 9 o'clock, and then we've got the rally on Saturday. So yeah, I'm just absolutely disgusted that they could throw this racial vilification case on me so late. They've had 3 months. The council's had plenty of time. The New South Wales Police have also had plenty of time, so we could sort this out. And every step of the way with our protest permit requests, whatever they've demanded, we've amended them just so we can seek some sort of compromise resolution so this can go ahead. And it hasn't happened. You know, we're not going to sort of, you know, pull our pants anymore, because I've already got a sore bum, and it's just sort of it's important that we do stand up for our rights. But definitely, you know, those who have already donated, much appreciated, and you know, please, you know, put a few dollars in that account so we can continue this struggle to defend freedom of speech, and also hopefully beat this injunction. You know, there's a good possibility that we could beat this injunction. Hopefully we can. I believe that we've got a good case. So yeah, I'll see you maybe Wednesday, Thursday or Saturday, or maybe all three. But thank you very much.